MSG is one of the most misunderstood ingredients in the Western world and has faced unjust demonization over the years.
MSG. It's a neurotoxin that can make you feel tired, give you headaches, aggravate migraines, cause allergies, and learning disabilities.
Avoid MSG, monosodium glutamate. That's sometimes sodium glutamate on foods. It makes you want to eat more and more.
MSG comes under fire every decade, and its misunderstanding often stems from racism, chemiophobia, or simply a lack of understanding of its use. From a food science perspective, incorporating MSG into recipes not only amplifies taste, but also allows for a significant reduction in sodium content. Due to pervasive misinformation, many people believe that MSG is harmful. This misconception has deep roots in Western propaganda and has tarnished the reputation of MSG. And this is where the propaganda started. Let's take it back to 1968, the year of triumphs and tragedies. Also the year that Robert Homan Kwok wrote a letter to the New England Journal of Medicine mentioning that for several years he experienced a strange syndrome whenever he eats at Chinese restaurants. Numbness of the body, general weakness, and palpitation, and that it could be linked to some ingredient in soy sauce or cooking wine, or others had suggested MSG. Monosodium glutamate. It's no shocker that immigrants were often exposed to discrimination, but this letter Kwok sent heightened it. The New England Journal of Medicine took this letter and blew it up. Newspapers published claims other doctors made after eating at Chinese restaurants. It included fainting, back spasms, sweating, and doctors couldn't figure out where it was from. Was it from the duck sauce, frozen veggies, or MSG? Soon enough, other newspapers followed suit, and it was marketed as the Chinese restaurant syndrome. And then a man named Herbert Schomburg conducted an extremely flawed study that was not blinded or representative of the population. Many physicians criticized his studies, but that didn't matter. The public began deeming MSG as the bad chemical that resulted in a strange syndrome after eating Chinese. Of course, they wouldn't blame it on the salt intake or the fried foods as the culprit, because that would make too much sense, and these things are too common. But the thing people didn't realize was so was MSG. MSG is a naturally occurring compound that's already in tomatoes, mushrooms, your favorite Doritos, Pringles. It's everywhere. And at the time, it was in American TV dinners.
With Swanson TV turkey dinners, you just heat and serve, and you serve big and hearty slices of moist, tender Swanson turkey with grand giblet gravy and special cornbread dressing and fluffy whipped sweet potatoes with golden Swanson butter and garden fresh peas with more butter.
But no one batted an eye until it was in Chinese food. Monosodium glutamate is an amazing flavor enhancer used in so many countries and in so many cuisines. It is gross and it's everywhere. Researchers for years have found zero proof of it being harmful or leading to complex syndromes. It's produced through fermentation of plants founded by a Japanese biochemist trying to figure out why his wife's tofu soups tasted so delicious. His wife attributed the flavor to a dried seaweed known as kombu, or kelp, which she used to prepare traditional Japanese dashi. Dr. Ikeda was captivated by this insight and decided to evaporate and refine his wife's kombu broth and isolate the crystalline compound known as glutamic acid. When he tasted it, he discovered its unique savory taste, which he called umami, also the fifth scent.
Wow. That's savory. So umami.
Which is now known as MSG. This is a really cool fun fact about MSG. The sodium content of MSG is significantly lower than that of salt. On average, MSG contains approximately 1/3 of the amount of sodium as table salt by weight. For example, 1 gram of MSG typically contains around 360 milligrams of sodium compared to approximately 1,000 milligrams of sodium in 1 gram of table salt. According to the World Health Organization, the recommended daily intake of sodium for adults is less than 2,000 milligrams, which is approximately 1 teaspoon of salt. However, the average person consumes far more than this, often exceeding recommended limits due to the prevalence of processed and restaurant foods. MSG can be a viable substitute for salt, which is notorious for its adverse effects on health when consumed in excess. From a food science perspective, incorporating MSG into recipes not only amplifies taste, but also allows for a significant reduction in sodium content. This aligns perfectly with the ongoing health trend. People are increasingly conscious of their dietary choices and seeking alternatives to traditional salt-filled dishes. There's a wealth of untapped potential in MSG that could revolutionize our approach to flavor enhancement and health-conscious cooking. Once we get rid of the unfounded stigma surrounding MSG, we can pave the way for innovative culinary practices and healthier eating habits. Now, take that with a grain of MSG. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button.